With the Jerry Ashford team at Centennial Home Mortgage.
Karl Mengers, broker owner at Mengers Realty.
Today we're going to ask a tough question. Is your realtor overpaid?
Not if he's a good realtor.
Because all they do is write a contract and show up to closing.
No, they just stick a sign in the yard. That's all they do.
We've heard every excuse in the world, right? Why your realtor should not get paid, okay? Let's talk about what really happens. Let's talk about what really goes on. What's your realtor really doing for you? First of all, they know everyone.
Lots of people to coordinate with, from the lenders to the inspectors, the bug guys, repair guys. Once you find the contract, all that stuff like that.
Appraiser, you have to meet the appraiser out there.
No, we don't get to pick the appraisers. That's your lender's job.
Exactly, but still you have to meet the guy.
It. That's right. We have to coordinate the appraisal time, meet the guys out there, make sure everything works on the positive side.
Absolutely. What else do they do for you? They find real estate. Realtors find your house for you. How do you do that?
Well, everything's not on the MLS. A lot of it is, but even then, once I have a client that wants a certain thing, a lot of times I'll go preview the house myself and say, hey, this either is a good fit or is not a good fit. Some houses need too much work, and if you've got somebody that's not a handyman or something like that, or a young family that's too busy, they need a house that's ready to go. They don't have time to go in and redo something. So that's my job, is to make sure I'm showing them the right stuff.
So that pretty picture on the MLS and the 3
bed, 2 bath. Some of those can be very misleading.
Right. It doesn't have all the information.
Look almost like an oil painting, But we like real world pictures
we like to drive by it, look at it, and even go inside and tour it first.
Right. A lot of times I will arrange a preview where I'm actually going in and checking the house out myself.
Save everybody a lot of time, right? All right, so then what we do, we write a solid offer. What goes into that?
Well, first of all, we pull all of our comps. We do this CMAs, make sure everything is in the right price range and that we're getting the client exactly what they want. Then we write the contracts, and then we cover everything in the contracts, because contracts mean things. And, we have to follow that to a T, to the letter, to make sure everybody's protected on both sides. We don't want any unintended liabilities for either sellers or buyers, either way.
This is a legally binding contract. You're writing a contract saying you're probably going to be buying the biggest purchase of your life, or at least over the next 5 years, unless you're going to buy buildings or start a business. Right. This is a major purchase.
And that's why myself and all of my realtors, they take it very seriously about the contracts, because it means things.
It does mean something. And when you get down to the end of it, if somebody wants to argue about it, you have it in writing.
That's right.
You have it all laid out.
And it doesn't exist if it isn't in writing. Okay, everything is in writing.
Okay, something else your realtor does for you. You're a problem solver.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's all kinds of things come up during either the listing of a house or the purchase of a house. A lot of times we're having to coordinate with the repairmen and stuff like that, but negotiating back and forth, I like to call our non-adversarial negotiators, because if we've got the seller side, we have to protect them. If we've got the buyer side, we've got to protect them, and sometimes we have both sides. We have to be a transaction broker to make sure we're working fair for both people.
Well, you want it to be a good deal for everybody.
Absolutely.
If it's not a good deal for both parties, it's not a good deal for everybody.
Then it's just not a good deal.
Right. Okay, so the main thing I'm seeing here, over all these things we're doing, is it's a huge time saver.
Absolutely.
If you're going to sell your own house or go shopping for your own house, you're going to have to drive through neighborhoods, make phone calls, and that's not even the tip of the iceberg.
Well, if you're selling your own house, you got to deal with all the showings. You got to coordinate everything. You're doing all these things, and you don't even know if these people are qualified to even buy your house.
This sounds like an entirely new video. Oh. I love a for sale by owner sign sitting in a yard that gets maybe 8 views. We're going to have a whole thing on that.
Okay.
I love for sale by owner conversations. Okay, now, the house never closes. You've done all this work. You've done every single thing we just talked about. The house does not close. The buyer says, you know what? I changed my mind. I don't want to do this anymore.
Then we just did all of that work for free.
For free.
For free.
A big goose egg.
Yep.
And we did all the work. We're happy to do it because that's what we're looking for, is our paycheck. But at the end of the day,
at the end of the day, if that's not what fits the client, and the client's had a change of life or decision, that's the way it is.
Exactly.
We deal with it and go on.
And what does the buyer pay? How much does the buyer pay a realtor?
The buyer does not pay the realtor anything unless they agree to pay a certain amount. above and beyond or different than what's listed on the MLS or by the seller, they pay us nothing. The seller pays the commissions.
So the buyer has absolutely nothing in it. We're doing all this work for them, and they're not paying a dime.
Now if they go through a process of inspections, all that, they do have to pay for all those inspections, but they don't pay that to us. That's only through their service provider.
And that's what we're talking about today, is the realtor. We're paying, the buyer does not pay the realtor anything.
But if it doesn't look like it's going to be a good fit for them, I don't want them to spend that money on any service providers.
Anything else.
Save that money for the right deal.
Which is, again, why it's important to have a realtor.
Exactly.
All right. This is Jerry with the Centennial Home Mortgage.
Karl Mengers, Main Edge Realty, where we do real world real estate every day.
Have a good day.